Hello students, having studied the classification of products, now it's time to move ahead with the other elements of products. Till now we studied the classification of product on the basis of consumer and industrial classifications. Now we are studying the first element of product, that is called branding. Along with branding in our syllabus, we are given packaging as well as labeling, these two elements to be studied as the elements of first P, that is products of 4 P's of marketing, and then we would start the second P, that is pricing. So to give you a short mind map, under the first P of marketing, that is product, we learnt about the meaning of the product, the classification of product, that is consumer and industrial, and now we are studying the other three elements, that is branding, packaging, and the labeling of the product. So let us see what a branding is. We have come across this term frequently, that this is my brand or our brand is selling like a hot cake. So what is a brand actually? The brand is a name or a term or a sign, symbol, design, or combinations of these things so that it helps a user to identify the goods or services of one seller or group of sellers, and these combinations would distinguish the product from those of competitors. So branding consists actually two components, brand name and brand mark. Say a marketer may sell his or her product under the generic name or a brand name. Say you can sell a pen simply in the name of a pen, or you can give a good brand name, say Luxure or say Today's, any such name which may attract a total consumer loyalty because of the improved and established features. Say you can sell a laptop just as a laptop or as Apple laptop. So laptop here is a generic name which represents the whole class of a product, while Apple is a name, a brand name or a company's name or that laptop's name from which you will be distinguishing that laptop from any other competitor's laptop available in the market. Say you are using butter every day, but that is a generic name, butter, but a brand name can be an Amul butter or a Go butter or any other local dairy butter. So branding, although it adds to the cost of packaging, labeling, or it also costs to legally protect that name or to spend something in promoting it, but it provides various advantage to the sellers as well as buyers. Let us first see what a brand name is. The first point here I have already explained in the previous slide. So let us go to the second one, brand name. Actually, second and third are frequently asked in MCQs as well as in case studies. So we have to learn it very well, that what is the difference between a brand name and a brand mark. Brand name is nothing but something that can be spoken, can be identified verbally. So that verbal component or a spoken part of a brand is known as brand name. Say Asian Paint, Saffola, Maggie, Lifebuoy, Dunlop, Lay's, Cadbury, Polo, all these are examples of brand name. While brand name is different from brand mark, brand mark specially says that the mark or the symbol or design or distinct color or a letter, it is that part of brand which cannot be spoken but represents the product. Say if you see a tick mark logo, you will easily identify that it is a Nike logo. If you see the M logo, red colored M logo, you can say it is McDonald, right? So there are many, or you can say the Gattu of Asian Paints, a small boy with shattered hair and standing with a paintbrush in his hand. So that is the brand mark of Asian Paints, right? Or if you see on the Cadbury packet, the purple packet, you will see that the milk can, the half of that milk is spilled. So that spilling milk out of the can is a brand mark. right? So it is that part of the total brand which cannot be spoken but can be recognized from. Say two join hands with blue color in background is LIC brand mark, right? So for a brand it is not only important to have a name but also a logo or mark or distinguish color pattern design which would differentiate it from its competitors. The next is trademark. Trademark is not included in brand mark, but it is that part of a brand which is given legal protection. Legal protection for what? For so that the other competitors may not use the same color, design, name, mark, symbol, etc. Claiming its own, although it is not. Say I may start a factory next to my house, a chocolate making factory, and I'll put a Cadbury name to it, right? I'll use the same color, design, pattern, everything, even the inside label, the inside package material that is golden in color, that one, that paper wrap, that also I'll be making the same. Isn't it possible? Yes, it is. So what is the protection to the original company? Otherwise people like me would start producing Cadbury from every nook and corner of the street. So the legal protection is a trademark. For trademark you have to apply through a certain means, you have to fulfill government formalities, you have to pay the fees, and then government would approve. After verifying all the documents and details given by you, government would give you a legal protection, saying that this brand is a registered trademark. So you can write down R or you can write TM in capital letters at the end of your brand name. You might have observed this at many places, right? The TM is used or R is used at the end of the name. Any wherever the name is written, say wherever the name Acer laptop is written, so if that Acer name is trademarked, registered trademarked, then they either would be using R or would be using TM to show that this brand is legally protected and no one apart from us can use this name, color, symbol, design, everything. This combination cannot be used by anyone else. So that is a trademark. So remember here a brand has two parts, brand name and brand mark. Brand name is something that can be spoken, while brand mark is something that can be recognized but cannot be spoken. So both brand name and brand mark combinedly would make up a brand. Trademark is something that gives a legal protection to your brand that you have produced. Now let us see that, as I said, that we have to incur a lot in getting it registered, say having a trademark for your brand or making a brand in terms of labeling, giving it a good packaging, promoting it, making advertisements about it. All this would cost you heavy price. But then also people, rather than selling the goods at the generic name, they would prefer to have a brand. So what are the advantages of it? Here we are going to study the advantages of branding to two parties. First, marketers, and second, customers. So if you are coming up with a brand in the market, there are certain advantages that would occur to you as a producer, as a marketer, and certain advantages would occur to your consumers also. So the first one is advantages to the marketers. First, it would make your product different, that is enables marking, product differentiation. Branding helps companies to distinguish their products. Say in market there are many chocolates available, but you can differentiate them very well even without reading the name. Even by standing far off, you can say that this is Cadbury, this is 5-star, this is Ferrero Rocher, this is that, this is that. So that is what the main purpose of branding is, to differentiate your product from your competitors and to have a secure and controlled market for their products. The second advantage is helps in advertising and display programs. So brand names and brand marks help companies to advertise their products and create effective demand. Say products advertised in their generic names would create confusion, isn't it? Say if a chocolate is sold loose without any name, how would you differentiate? मान लो कि आपने एक जगह से chocolate ली, you like the taste so much, right? But the next day you go, there is some other kind of chocolate available there, right? The same, without package, without any outer appearance, the simple transparent packing is given to you. So how will you differentiate which one you liked, right? So to create awareness about the product and generate specific demand for that purple wrappered Cadbury Dairy Milk or a golden wrappered 5-star, you need to have a proper branding. In the other way around, branding would help you to distinguish your product, and also it would help you to design your promotion programs. Third is differential pricing. Yes, the branding may create a special liking about the product. Say you like Ferrero Rocher so well that you would like to have it in the milkshake, on the cakes, on the other confectionery items. You would like to it everywhere. But how would you differentiate? By price, by outer look, right? By these features, you would you are enabled to make sure that you are using the correct Ferrero Rocher. So, customers' mind, and as a result of this special liking in their minds, you might pay higher prices, right? So, branding enables a firm to charge different price because a customer likes it and he wants it to be, to have it even at a price that is asked, any price that may be asked by the seller. So, from the seller's viewpoint, the seller can very well decide a price because of the hold that his or her brand has in the market. So, it would help you to create a pricing strategy. Next is ease in introduction of new product. Well established brand helps the company to introduce new products. Say a Cadbury has so many variety, bubbly and fruit and nut and other flavors, right? So, if one variety of your brand is already established in the market, it is very easy to introduce a second one. Say Samsung. Samsung has extended its television brand name to washing machines and refrigerators and ovens and what not, right? So, under the same brand name, say Samsung, even mobiles. It's very, once you are established in the market, it's very easy to introduce another variety under the same brand name, right? So, that these all are the advantages to a marketer. Next one, very easy, advantages to customers. First, it helps in product identification. Yes, as I said, you did not go so close to a shelf to identify a 5-star or a Cadbury Dairy Milk or a Lux soap, right? आप दूर से ही आप जान सकते हो because of its label, because of its specific features. So that helps you in identifying what you like even when the products are amidst other 100 products. Next is ensures quality. Now it's for the marketers also, it's marketers' responsibility to create an offering that would ensure repeat sales. So once, say you liked Cadbury so much, you liked its quality, you liked its taste, you liked its pricing, everything. So you would keep on buying it whenever you get a chance. So the name Cadbury now would replace the word quality and satisfaction for you, right? So as a customer, you are always assured of having a good quality whenever you are consuming that product. Same goes with the soft drinks. You may not be able to see what's there inside the bottle, but then also just open the cap and start drinking, assuming that there will be nothing inside, there is no insect or there is nothing rotten inside, right? But you will just start drinking it. So because you trust that brand and you trust the quality given by it. So that is an advantage to a customer. Next is status symbol. Yes, it will satisfy your psychological or your social needs. That well established brands will have good quality and so they can govern a high price. So possessions of certain products are considered as a status symbol. So having a latest, always, not only having the latest phone, but always having the latest version of iPhone in your hand can be taken as a status symbol by society. Here we are not judging whether it's right or wrong, but it's just a symbol as perceived by many in the society. May not be the truth always, but it is perceived as, right? Or having a latest model of car or motorcycle or any other two-wheeler may be considered a status symbol if that product is placed in the market in that way. So that is advantages to the customers. Now we will move to the characteristics of a good brand name that I will be explaining in my next video.